Hello, my name's Tom Corby. I'm a Professor of Visual Art and Principal Investigator of the Materialising data project, which is situated in the Manifest Data Lab, Central St Martin's, University of the Arts, London. The Manifest Data Lab is a collective of artists and climate scientists united in desire to take climate data out of the lab and insert it into people's lives. Our research is located across the disciplines of climate science, 3D fabrication and artistic practice, and our aim is to break down walls and build promising disciplinary structures from the rubble. The science of climate change is generally communicated through screen-based visualizations, graphs and other technical forms. However, we know from research that people respond poorly to information-heavy diagrams, seeing little connection between the abstract data values they represent and the natural values of the subjective climate they experience. Our encounters with climate science are also swamped by noisy information environments that fight for our focus and muffle urgent environmental signals. Our research seeks to break through these walls by re-establishing a sensory and emotional connection to the sites, oceans and atmospheres captured but obscured by the abstractions of climate data. We propose that climate data possesses additional emotional content or feeling, which can be deployed in ways that give it a new life and public agency. Using sustainable technologies, we translate this data into physical artworks and animations of dimensionality, texture and surface that can be shared, touched and experienced at human scale. We posit the material presence of this work operates as a lure or visceral shortcut, enabling audiences to establish their own emotional connections with the complex forces at work behind the data. For example, the project carbon topology seen here is a three-dimensional mapping of the locations, amounts and flows of CO2 arising from the activity of the global economy from the 1970s to the present. The crustal geologies, scars, ridges and archipelagos of carbon production reveal the planetary conditions subject to unsustainable patterns of consumption. Alongside this work, we have projected a series of animations on the architectural facades of sites of political and cultural power in London, including the Tate Gallery and Houses of Parliament. Using historic and future carbon dioxide scenarios from climate model outputs, the animations show how CO2 emissions might triple by 2017, leading to atmospheric conditions outside of the human climate niche, essentially a global extinction event. Hannah Knox has described a shift in how the borders between politics, climate science and the public are blurring in response to the ever more pressing requirements for political action. This process is forcing a reorientation of the role of climate data, which questions it as a purely scientific form toward a public node of knowledge that can inform sites of political action and public reflection. Our experiments with climate data are sympathetic to these arguments, but additionally we stress the necessity for new artistic forms that can enable us to emotionally grasp the challenges that lie ahead. Climate change, therefore, is simultaneously an environmental, political and social crisis, which in these complex intersections can only truly be solved holistically.